concerned about is I'm worried about him getting to my head. So I got to control range. Now you got to understand range here. If I'm here, it looks like my head is right there and he can grab it. It's true. He's close to me. His chances of getting it are much higher. But believe it or not, my range is back here. You see? So when you're fighting, let's say you're doing MMA or whatever, and a guy's punching you, he might try to punch you, he's gonna land. But you can actually now, he goes to throw a punch, you can move back, you can redirect it, you can do a lot of things because you're messing with your range. If you're here, my range isn't much further than this, basically. Because I'm on a low shoulder, he knows I'm down. I can't really, there's no threat of me getting up. It's everything right here when I'm playing this position says, I'm staying here, you're on top, and I'm gonna play the position. That narrows my attacks, that narrows my offense. So when you're playing the bottom position here, you gotta also be careful that you're not putting yourself in a position where you cannot scramble, okay? And I think that's very, very important. You gotta be ready to scramble. Now, some of the things that can backfire on you when you're scrambling. One is you wanna have your bottom leg, in my opinion, you gotta have an option to get your bottom leg out. If I choose to get up at all, I need to be able to get my bottom leg out. Without getting my bottom leg out, I can't get up. And the other thing about that is I wanna make sure I'm protecting my bottom leg. So, okay, this outside crook of my knee here, I want to keep that nice and heavy down to the mat. And the reason for that is if I'm in this position and he grabs under this knee and he lifts it up, my hips come up and now I can get blasted with passes, low passes and things like that. So I want to protect my bottom leg. I don't want him messing with that because he can shelf me, he can do a lot of other things. So when you're playing here, no matter how you're playing it, you be cautious of your bottom leg. You don't want him to control it. Now, one of the things that you might see is guys will bring their leg, at least I will, over the top, and they'll come here, they're turning the corner. Now, some guys like this position, but me, if I'm on the bottom, this is the last thing I want, because now I'm becoming more and more committed to less and less options. I don't ever want this to happen. Personally, first thing I want to do as I'm protecting myself and staying on the inside is to right away solve the problem, get my knee back out. Because here, at least if I don't want to be here, I can now take this out. I can start to use both legs, or now I can start to work my get up and come out of the hole. There's a lot of options here. So one of the priorities, make sure your bottom leg has free access and don't let him control and don't let him turn your hips to the sky. That will set up his pass in most cases. All right, so that's some little ideas on the bottom leg concept. The other thing now, if guys are fans of me, they'll hear me talk about this, but I think I mainly talked about it for the top, is the battle, a big battle is here, in my opinion. The battle is here. I can play this position if he has an underhook on me, and I can play it if I have an underhook on him, okay? But I want to make sure that I don't lose the fight on this arm. This whole thing can dictate everything. If he grabs my wrist in a pin, now I'm stuck on a post, I can't move, I can't sit up. Now he's basically controlling me with a simple grip. So I always gotta remember, if he grabs my wrist, I need to strip it. I need to make sure that I protect my hand. I don't want him grabbing it. I want to stay inside and try to keep him elevated. That way, if I feel the resistance of him trying to smash, now I can now redirect that or even set him up and give him what he wants, which will lead me to something else I want, okay? So, being inside, adjusting constantly, don't let him control your bottom arm. This is your post. Get rid of it, okay? Don't let him control it. Now, guys will grab the wrist here. Now, you can use this to your advantage because he's exposing his own arm, and because he's using a downward grip, I'm actually able to come out of the hole and get on a post. So you can play around and let a guy grab that and a downward grip and still attack, but in my opinion, why let him have anything? What if he pulls it up And then he starts to turn my hips up, like what if? So the thing about it is just get rid of it. Don't let anyone control this hand. There's nothing good that's gonna happen. So stay here, protect yourself, protect your head. And now you're going into some kind of defense mode. Now where he puts this arm will dictate what I do as far as my attack. Some guys will wrap through, that's popular. You know, you can use that to your advantage. Other guys are looking for the underhook. Other guys are playing away. You know, a lot of things like that. But when you're playing, especially like the Z guard, one of the things you got to be really concerned with, and that's why I can't stress enough about protecting this arm, is the cradle pass. I'm a huge cradle guy. I've been doing it for forever, and there's guys better than me out there, like especially like the Godfather of Funk, you know, Wade Chalice or something. Their cradles are at a different level. Okay, so you got to be very careful because of the cradle. Cradle is a very powerful grip. It works awesome for no-gi grappling. Okay, it's just a wrestling move. So by playing here, I'm protecting myself from the cradle. Okay, if you make a mistake, sometimes guys go here. I'm exposing myself. You're gonna get cradle passed if a guy's timing you. So you got to read your opponent. You got to know your opponent, but protect yourself from the cradle. Don't expose yourself. You know, this is not necessarily going to be a battle where we're trying to do something technically back and forth. He might just try to athletically run me down, and a cradle's a great way to do that. So you got to make sure that you're protecting yourself. The other thing, especially if you're a tall guy, be very careful overstretching yourself. Okay, and the reason why I say this is because when me being a tall guy, big guy, we all have pockets. Little guys have little pockets. And I say pockets meaning corners. Like, I need to make sure I protect my corner unless I'm trying to set them up. A lot of guys will play really open like this, and the more they get stretched, the more their abdominal wall gets stretched, the more their spine gets stretched, and now they got to work harder, and their legs are starting to get too far away from their body, and it becomes these big pockets. Now, you're not in a good position because you're not really balled up anymore. You can't really get under him. You can't roll very well. But basically, if you're going to be here, you got to start figuring out exactly where you're going to go. When in doubt, you know, try to protect yourself. Play the game. Work the style.